And women are killed more by their partners, people they know. Their neighbors. They are hurt by people they know and people they trust, and it's always men.
No, we do not. Women have got more protections against violence.
Yet they are the ones who still suffer more.
So, when you're looking at the stats now, it's also testament to what I read in terms of divorce, not even murder or what GBV, just the fact that a relationship between a woman and a woman is most likely to end faster than a relationship between a man and a man to man.
Violence.
So are you asking me why is that so?
No, I'm just telling you that 44% of your lesbian relationships have got abuse in all those.
Cheating is not abuse. We need to stop saying that.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a form of emotional abuse.
Then why aren't you leaving and protecting yourself? We cannot say cheating is abuse. Let us not abuse the word abuse. Cheating can never be abuse. No, Lady Zama's career ended when she made false allegations allegedly to Usjava.
Why are you saying it ended? Because she's still singing.
No, it's not the same. Even he agrees with that. It's not the same. She's not the same. Let's not even fight it.
There is also a law where it's a punishable crime if there's no way that you can prove that you were raped when you make the accusation, that you can be charged with false accusation immediately and be imprisoned, and there's harsh punishment for that. And those are the new reforms that have come about.
Career has never been the same.
Just because she lost popularity doesn't mean that she was cancelled.
But that is her career.
No,
she's a celebrity.
It's not. The person who was cancelled, the person who lost opportunities, who lost income and everything else is Java. He's the person who actually
the country actually supported him a lot.
Whether the country supported him or not, no institutions did.
Then you've got Kelly Khumalo on the other hand, who is accused. It's still not yet proven that she's accused. Yet, you don't see her losing anything. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's sexual offense versus murder or killing someone. For me, those two carries almost the same weight. So there's a lot of confusion around feminism and what it stands for. It is as if feminism was a movement that was created to fight against men. But gender-based violence, is it true or false that women, they are under siege? Women are going through a lot in this country, so they said. I wonder if the stats reflects that. I'm going to read the stats shortly. Is it true that women are going through a lot?
Yes. I was about to say duh, but you guys are going to say it like I'm overly going. But yes, they are.
How true is it not? That women are going through a lot?
Overly going means.
And I said I'm not going to tell you. You still need to do research.
I think you're overconfident.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Why?
All right. Seemingly,
that's OC.
some people are
that's
overconfident.
Okay.
Some are less confident. However, you will remember that on our last episode, especially towards the end, I said I would like us to debate about gender-based violence. There are a lot of things that are said about gender-based violence, the numbers thereon. And I want us to start on the numbers. So I'm going to ask them questions. So I want to take this as far back as 2024, right? Around 2024, we had about a total of 27,600 people plus that were killed. Now, listen to this. I said 27,600 plus people were murdered, right? Women account for 5,578. Children, 1,656. I don't know. Do your own maths. Who's under siege, Nota? Based on these numbers.
No, men are under siege. It's obvious. And the thing is that male victimhood is something that we don't factor in. Male victimhood comes in many, many forms. There's many forms of unpaid labor, right, that men do that doesn't get counted for. That's more valuable sometimes than washing dishes, than cleaning a home, apart from provision, protecting a home, the safety element, those are the jobs that men do in whatever services, whether it be policing services, whether it be military services, to protect a border, to protect nationhood, to protect a country. Those are expectations that men are going to step up for those kinds of jobs, and those kinds of jobs put them in danger. They're risky jobs, and that's why they're in the firing line when it comes to violence, because instances of violence need men to attend to them.
You know what's funny today? Today we seem to have a coordinated debate. That's what I like the most about this one. Nevertheless, you just said the numbers.
I think it's very important that we understand that GBV is gender-based violence. And gender-based violence includes sexual abuse, violence. It does not include men who die from robberies. And I feel like femicide rates are higher. And yes, more men die because you always say that. But they don't die due to GBV. You know, they die due to robberies, gang fights, or other things, but just not. You understand what I'm trying to say?
I would have a problem with what you are saying. Because I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to have to ask you a question.
Okay.
When we look at the numbers, we look at people murdered, right? We said murdered people. What if amongst the 5,500 and something people, some of those women were killed by a taxi somewhere?
But
so why would you want to say...
Well, no, it can't be a taxi because it's murdered. So murdered needs...
I'm just making an example.
They need to have been killed by someone.
Yeah, and we're talking about GBV, and I'm saying femicide rates are higher.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying. When you say somebody's murdered, do you say is murdered by a partner, or you are saying is murdered? The intention was to kill somebody here. Then the definition of that, we could call it murder, right? Mm-hmm. I'm saying, when they write the stats, do they say, no, you died out of it was just a car crash or, a hit and run? Do they say, no, because it was hit and run, we don't include it on the stat. We don't say it's murder. Do they account for that differently than this? This, I mean.
Yes, they account for everything. Accidental death is also included in the death rate. You know what I mean? Death by sickness and illness, etc., etc. All of those things are included in the death rate.
Okay.
But I think that the important distinction here is that what is being compared, right, has a little bit of fallacies involved, because when they say that intimate partner violence, right, accounts for the majority of women's deaths.
Yeah, that's
right?
what I was saying.
Also, we need to factor in that intimate partner violence doesn't just mean violence that leads to death. And in half of the instances of intimate partner violence, females are also the perpetrators. It's just that in the instances where males are either the perpetrators or maybe even the victims of it, it can lead in more instances of females dying than it does to instances of males dying. But both females and males die at each other's hands.
But more females die in men's hands.
Yes.
Oh, you agree with me?
No, that's true.
Oh,
but
okay.
Even though that might be the case, that doesn't necessarily mean that the males that kill females were the ones that instigated the violence. In some instances, they're defending themselves. There's cases where a woman tried to throw boiling acid on her partner, and he managed to evade and defend himself, and then the acid poured on her and she subsequently died. That's intimate partner violence, where the perpetrator ended up dying by the same weapon that they wanted to use against. But in that instance, it's a woman dying.
Yeah, but like situations like that are like, a very small percentage compared to the men that just willingly kill women. And women are killed more by their partners, people they know. Their neighbors. They are hurt by people they know and people they trust, and it's always men.
Okay.
It's men that they love, actually.
The fallacy is conflating the issue. So when we say that in instances of intimate partner violence, both males and females are equally responsible for initiating violence.
Yes. 100%.
So the level of violence or the propensity of violence is dependent on either their strength or their access to technologies such as weapons, etc., etc.
But we do know that women are vulnerable.
Yes, but as vulnerable as they are equally responsible for initiating instances of intimate partner violence. So as vulnerable as
How
they
does
are,
a woman initiate it?
by striking first.
Women usually shout.
Even so, they strike as well.
So that's anger.
Okay, wait.
But when you now put your hands, you can't say that she initiated it just because she was shouting at him.
By law, the self-defense definition says that if someone strikes you first, you can argue self-defense if you strike them back.
Wait, Kanti, what is gender-based violence? Is it only the murder aspect, or because when people are protesting, normally they will say there's emotional abuse
It
and whatnot.
includes
So they
sexual abuse also.
exactly, but I'm trying to avoid the physical aspect. So they will say there's financial abuse, there's
Yes.
emotional abuse.
Yes.
Then they go on the street and protest for gender-based violence and include all of these things, right? So when you say women are protecting themselves, they are not in fact, when you say they are not the first to throw the punch, but they talk, isn't
Yes.
it still the abuse that you went to complain about? But my man is emotionally abusing me, but you were emotionally abusing the other by shouting at him.
I think emotional abuse and physical abuse cannot be compared.
You are
Because-
willing to stand on that, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Because
Continue.
when I'm shouting at you, I'm making you angry of the choice of walking away, and I'm hurting your feelings, yes, which is wrong, yes, but it's not physically harming you. Physical abuse is now worse because you are beating me up. It's emotional and physical.
Okay, I think that women create categories of abuse for whichever convenience they want to find for their victimhood.
How can you say that?
I'm just saying, whichever convenience you want to find for your perpetual victimhood, you'll find an abuse. I mean, if you're not being given mavuso money, then it's financial abuse. You know, if
Wow.
if you're being held accountable, then it's emotional abuse. You know, if you're not being held accountable, then it's gaslighting. There's always a different form of abuse, and I think that with all the forms of abuse that we have within our society, I think the only ones that men cannot be victims of are the ones that don't include physical violence. And it seems that the violence that is meted out against men from society and misandrist women, right, is completely ignored. There's something called structural violence and institutional violence. And when it comes to the police or law enforcement authorities, they're supposed to have a monopoly on violence, right? That monopoly on violence, how is it meted out? Is it even-handed? Do we have the same laws that either protect us against violence or that allow violence for both men and women? No, we do not. Women have got more protections against violence.
Yet they are the ones who still suffer more.
And they're also equally responsible for initiating instances of intimate partner
No.
violence as well. No, that is a statistic.
We can't say victims initiate anything.
Exactly.
We can't.
And therefore, when a man is a victim, because he has not
Same
initiated,
applies to him.
Exactly.
Same applies to him. As
Exactly.
long as you're a victim, you cannot be held accountable.
I've got a problem with this statement.
You're repeating that again.
No, wait.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, I want to use a different scenario here. Somewhere around Braamfontein, I just forgot the exact year. 2 police officers, one from Metro and the other one from SAPS. I don't know. It has been said that they had an argument. With basement. So the one from SAPS, he drives out, and then he parked on the street. He's busy talking to his friend, and then this one, I think it's the one from Metro. He follows the guy, catches up there, and then he's busy insulting him. And then I don't know what happened. Or he keep his bum. I don't know, but I do remember that the one where SAPS, that guy is well trained. When you're looking at that video,
Is that a man to man?
That's
men
the
to men, yes.
skip.
When you're looking at that video, the guy who died, he's the one who initiated everything. We are told about what happened in the basement. We don't know, but based on what we saw on Kuma video, the one who eventually
busy
died,
shouting.
exactly, he was the one who initiated everything.
And
So
he
when
was
you
screaming,
say,
skip.
yes. So when you say
Just like women will slap you and saying, "Dubu lege."
No, that's different.
You can't stand me. Yet you are telling me, what I'm saying is, what I'm trying to show you
like
is,
no.
Like
That's entitlement that I have a problem with men. Men feel entitled to hit women. Just because I say to you, Nota, Nota, screw you, have emotional intelligence as a man. Okay. Don't be affected by what I'm saying.
Yes, but
hold yourself. Even the law, supports that. The law of South Africa. If you and I would go right now and report or when and I was just shouting at you, you are getting arrested because you are the one who put hands on me. Why are you putting hands on me? Let's argue.
So you mean that the court doesn't care about emotional abuse?
No, wait.
Not as much as physical
put hands
abuse.
On the table, no?
The problem is throwing hands.
Let's not touch wood. We won't put hands on the table anymore. Because in the comments they're complaining about that.
Oh, really?
Again, in this instance, right? You've got another situation where the victimhood of men does not qualify for any form of recognition. So we're not talking about gender-based violence. We're talking about male-to-male violence, right? And in the instance where we're speaking about someone initiating the violence and then ending up becoming the victim in self-defense, right? You must remember, this is not cases of murder. That would be culpable homicide. Right? No one had intentions. The stats that we were reading out earlier were murder stats. There's also other stats like culpable homicide. And in those stats, a lot more men are victims of women in cases of culpable homicide, right? There's also men that are victims of women in other forms of violence where they get killed by like poisoning, all sorts of things, all number of things. But none of these things are ever factored in to the victimhood of men. So when they say that we've got a crisis with gender-based violence and that women are under siege, the only reason they can say that is because they completely ignore the victimhood of men.
Do you agree that you guys, you completely shut the door? You can't be a victim.
Not only that, they change the argument. Like just now, she argued something completely different from the question that you asked. But that is a tactic that they use, you know what I mean? To either deflect, distract you, or raise another issue completely that you're not even speaking about. And then all of a sudden, they are then able to use that to give themselves the perpetual victimhood.
Let me give you time. I want to read something. I want to allow you to say something.
About what he's saying?
Yeah, you were saying something and then I asked you, Guti, I saw this scenario. You were still saying that
that's men violence.
No. But remember, I gave you that video.
Yes, maybe we should check the stats of GBV. Maybe we should check stats of how many women get killed by a man per year.
Whoa. Let me go there.
Yes,
Let me go there. I'm going back to murder. I'm going to
murder. Even if the males might be slightly high, it's because of the way men control themselves and handle themselves in this country.
So men are always the problem in this equation.
Okay. Men are not always the problem, but most men are.
Okay,
enough of them are. Enough of them are to have so many victims.
Let me give you
enough. Not all, not most, enough, just enough.
Okay, it's fine.
Hold on.
Yeah, just enough.
Let me give you guys some comparative stats, right? In terms of lifetime intimate partner violence, rape, physical violence, stalking by intimate partner, all of those are included, right? By sexual orientation, so that we know that which type of relationships have more instances of lifetime intimate partner violence. Amongst bisexual women, 61% of all relationships have got intimate partner violence, right? Bisexual women, right? Lesbian women, 43.8%, right? Heterosexual women, 35%.
And please read the male stats after. Don't just read the females.
I'm reading each and every single one. I'm reading each and every one. So I've read bisexual women at 61%, lesbian women at 43.8%, heterosexual women at 35%, right? Now, when we go to bisexual men is also the highest amongst men at 37.3%, right? When it comes to gay men, it's at 26%, significantly lower than the 43.8% in lesbian women. And then when it comes to heterosexual men, right, in relationships, right? That's 29% of instances of intimate partner violence, which is less than in heterosexual women by 6%. In no one of these examples that I've given you is the intimate partner violence of relationships with women lower than those of relationships including men. Involving men. Sorry.
Do you have some, like, how are you going to answer this? How are you going to defend this? Let me say this. According to stats, heterosexual relationships versus same-sex relationships, female group, they are most likely to divorce in comparison to male groups who are in a same-sex relationship, same-sex marriage or relationship. So when you're looking at the stats now, it's also testament to what I read in terms of divorce, not even murder or what, GBV, just the fact that a relationship between a woman and a woman is most likely to end faster than a relationship between a man and a man to man. So say something. I'm interested to hear what you're going to say.
Women to women relationships end.
Like intimate relationships, same-sex relationship.
I think that doesn't really matter. Women can end their relationships at any time. As long as we are not abusing each other, then it's okay. Like I can
But
date.
you are abusing each other.
But that's not the question.
43.
But I'm showing you something. There's
44% of lesbian relationships have got instances of intimate partner violence. 44%.
Are you asking me why is that so?
No, I'm just telling you that 44% of your lesbian relationships have got abuse involved.
And we also have a lot of gay men abusing each other.
At 26%.
At 26%.
Compared to 44% in lesbian women.
Well, that's interesting.
that is exactly
interesting.
the reason why I brought this thing, Guti. Even when you talk about people who are most likely to divorce, same-sex marriage, men versus men, women versus women, they are saying 10-10. 6 out of 10 women are most likely to divorce. I think with men, it's 3 out of 10. The rate. So I'm saying there's always something, there's always drama
around women.
Yes,
of course.
That's the point I'm trying to drive.
Double the amount of violence in gay, female lesbian relationships than there is in a male gay relationships.
Exactly, that's the point I was trying to drive.
That's incorrect. There was a story that was trending last year or 2 years back. Allegedly, we all know Somizi, right? Allegedly, Somizi was beating up Mohale, and it was viral, right? Mohale was talking about it, but no one cared. Why didn't anyone care? As a man, you stand up for men and you love men. But he doesn't want to talk for his men.
Okay, but you're up to something. You're up to something.
Yeah, why isn't he talking for his men?
Yeah,
talk for your men, support your men.
Trick again. Either way, that's anecdotal, and that's intimate.
Why aren't we
violence,
talking about Mohale being a victim?
Hold on, that's only 26%.
Is he not a victim
of the victims? What about
you?
Lebu?
Don't support
what
him.
What about Lebu? And
yes, the generation actor.
Lebu is a liar. She's
just a liar. That's okay. That's not illegal. She's a liar. It's okay.
What about Lebu and
men are liars
what's
too.
What's the Sangoma one that she was dating?
It's the
Latoya is just a Latoya is just a fuck up. She's not doing anything
I forgot the other one.
illegal.
I forgot the other one's name now.
I don't think. Come on, man. That girl was ranting about Latoya breaking her heart, not about Latoya abusing her. She's like, Latoya is a F.
There was lots of abuse. There was emotional abuse. There was cheating.
There was financial abuse as well.
All those
cheating is not abuse. We need to stop saying that.
Okay. Well, that's a form of emotional abuse.
Then why aren't you leaving and protecting yourself? We cannot say cheating is abuse. Let us not abuse the word abuse. Cheating can never be abuse.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
I agree with you.
Yeah, thank you.
But most women don't.
Yeah.
So they filed that, they use that as a form of, abuse. Another thing is that that level of dishonesty is punishable in some countries.
It's dishonesty, yes.
No. I'm saying that level of dishonesty,
yeah.
Honesty with your intimate partner, dishonesty with your intimate partner is punishable by stoning, by death. In some countries, it's a capital crime, adultery. You know what I mean? There are countries where you treated as an adulterer the same way a murderer is treated. So that's why cheating is also a serious thing. You know what I mean? And it does have victims. You understand what I'm saying?
You're a victim of being cheated on, then just leave.
That is true. But you're leaving with what? You're leaving with trauma. You're leaving with heartache.
Because you allowed somebody to cheat on you because you have bad sense of character.
That's just
that
like
you
saying
don't
you
have
allowed
good...
someone to beat you up. You allowed someone
No.
to initiate the violence.
No, that's very
You allowed
different.
your wife to slap you. Because
Cheating
many
is
men do such
disrespect.
things. Many men do such things. And then
Women
now,
have a choice of leaving.
It's fine. But if a man is being slapped by his wife, right? He's got a choice of leaving and then walking out and going to the nearest police station.
Yes.
If at the police station they ask that man, why didn't you hit her back?
Then I think the problem is with the society and like the way the system is. The problem is really not with the perpetrators because they get away with things because the police doesn't take anyone serious. Even when the women go there, right? There's specific women that they take serious, you know. If you go there wearing long clothes and, you know, they take you serious, hi, when are you a serious victim? And then there's some victims that have to explain themselves, like prove their pain.
Okay.
So
let's look at the system. The system
is the problem.
Okay. The system,
because why
that's the
should
problem.
a man be laughed at when he's going to report, and why should a woman be asked to prove?
Okay.
awufuna ukuliyeka le tafula wena sikhuluma nge-gender based violence u-abuse le tafula le.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. I love you.
Please, you know, so they're complaining in the comments. So I want to talk about the actual system because I think a legislature and the law is the actual system that we're speaking about. And I was speaking about how much the law is violent against men. So let's look at from 2023 to 2025, right? What reforms have happened? And I'm going to use BRICS countries as a comparative block, right? In Brazil, there's the Maria da Penha evolution. Brazil recently expanded the Maria da Penha law to include psychological violence as a specific crime and launched a national pact for the prevention of femicide to unify data across states. So already, Kim's argument is defeated by the fact that we've got a precedent of laws being enacted to now recognize that emotional violence that she was dismissing people's victimhood of as an actual category of violence that forms part of gender-based violence. India, there's the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita reform. In 2024, India replaced its colonial-era penal code with the new Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, BNS. This is so funny, that's my company's name. Which includes a stringent life imprisonment or death for gang rape of minors and criminalizes sexual intercourse through deceitful means, like false promises of marriage, right? So there's some reforms there. India is a country where, you know, there is also a law where it's a punishable crime if there's no way that you can prove that you were raped when you make the accusation, that you can be charged with a false accusation immediately and be imprisoned. And there's harsh punishment for that. And those are the new reforms that have come about in a form of a pushback against these new rape laws that have been introduced. But if you just think about it like this, imagine being charged for rape for regret sex. Because you promised this girl before you slept with her that you're going to marry her, and then eventually you don't marry her, she can now go and charge you with rape to say that you promised to marry me and that's why I slept with you. And now because you're not marrying me, I'm now charging you with rape. That is basically codifying regret sex rape. Right? That's happening in India. In South Africa, our own country, there's the Femicide Act, right? Following a national crisis, South Africa enacted the Criminal and Related Matters Amendment Act, which makes it significantly harder for perpetrators of gender-based violence to get bail and expands the definition of domestic violence to include spiritual and economic abuse. So if we are enyangen, right, and you're using mutis and potions, pegaminangetwa, all those types of things, right, which are most commonly used by women, you can actually...
Men are also ritualists.
Yes, men are also ritualists.
You see,
are most
you know what I like
used.
about women? They are into the emotional things. They'll do pegaminangetwa. They will do, not that I support it, but women are just focused on other things. Men, they do rituals on women. They don't respect women. They do rituals on them.
Which women?
They kill them.
Which women?
He's going to say...
No, I'm just saying. like the women that allow themselves to be up for sale, right?
But you cannot. I cannot tell Ugutu Bongani right now as a ritualist. I wouldn't know that.
But either way, if he is
Until
a
he-
ritualist, right, and he's performed a ritual, you can actually go and open a case against him for abuse, right? So that is a form of
But in
gender-based
South Africa,
violence.
they don't take that serious.
It's not that they don't take it seriously. There's an act that was enabled, and
But they don't take it
late
serious.
last year, because of the Purple Gang's marches and protests, there was a national state of disaster, which meant that the government can now unleash budget to assist in instances where there are gaps in prosecution of the new crimes that are included in the new Amendment Act of the GBV Femicide Act. Now let's look at other countries, right? Ethiopia and the UAE, right? Ethiopia integrating violence against women into its homegrown economic reform agenda, linking women's safety to economic participation. Now, you need to look at it like this, is that they're thinking about or making considerations about women that are excluded from the workplace because of intimate partner violence, or they are physically being prevented from going out to work because their husbands do not want them to work. Now, they don't think about the violence against the children who are now abandoned because their mother is being forced to work. You know, that's something that they never consider. The UAE recently updated its federal decree law on combating domestic violence, strengthening protection orders for survivors. So now survivors can get protection orders and stop themselves from being stalked. There's many reforms and many laws that have changed to favor women, right? But none of these reforms actually look at the victimhood of men in any of the instances that these reforms are introduced. Like when I spoke about the South African example of spiritual abuse, people always think about ritualist men that are abusing women, either with snakes or animals or whatever the case may be, or using them for sacrifices. Those are things that are foreign to us. These sacrificial cultures and everything else, those are cultures that come from the Americas. You know what I mean? Those are cultures that, practices that come from the Epstein Island and things like that. And we know we've had some Epstein Island, we've had some Bird Island.
Which just proves that there's really horrible men out there. And you spoke about children, right?
But
and
which kind of men are these horrible men? Hold on.
No.
They're
I would
American
like to be
men,
given an
they are
opportunity
Western
to
men,
talk because he's been talking for
they're
like
mostly
10,
white
15
men.
minutes.
But
And when
I'll give you now, and I want to make sure that you have your time.
Hold on. So
let him finish. Let's give him a minute.
Those are mostly white men, right?
Because he can't say a lot of things, and now,
Yeah, it's only fair.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are
only fair.
mostly, so the instances where you're speaking about, right, those are mostly white men, right? Also, white men can be ritualist as well. When we look at the abuse of children, right? When you look at who are the most vulnerable people in society, it is children.
100% correct.
And in all categories, right, the biggest abusers of children, whether it be sexual abuse, whether it be physical abuse, any category of abuse, are women.
False.
Okay.
False.
wait. No. You can check the stats.
No,
you can
false.
check the stats
Okay,
and
we'll
tell me
get
where
back to
they're
the
at. But
stats.
wait, the
Let
reason
me
why I want to make
respond
hold on.
to-
I want to use that because at least
No, man,
when we look
you
at
can't.
children, right? When we look at children, right, that's an independent measure, right? Because they are ones that you can't say that women are weaker than children. Because we say that when it comes to men and women and the instances of abuse there, right? So children are equally as weak to women as they are to men, right? So why do we have so many instances of women abusing children than we have of men abusing children? What that shows is that the behavior of men is not necessarily to exploit the vulnerability of the people that they have to
But that's false.
commit violent
More
acts
men,
against us.
Okay.
no.
Oh, okay, fine.
More men.
That's
More
why.
men.
Hold on.
I
I just want to finish the point. I want to finish the point.
just want
No,
I want to
you
finish the point
can't.
because it's about the sentiment of men. Men,
Nota.
right? When they
You can't-
hold on. When men commit violent acts, the categories, right, of danger, right, is fellow men, right? Number one, that's the most dangerous opponent to a man that is committing a violent act is another man, right? The second most dangerous is a woman, right? The third most dangerous, right, or the least dangerous is a child, right? When men commit violence, right, most of the violence is committed against the most dangerous, other men. The second amount of violence, right, is committed against the second most dangerous, women, right? The least dangerous, right, get the least violence. And therefore, you can say that men do not naturally exploit the vulnerability of their victims when they commit violent acts. Whereas the inverse is true when it comes to women. They're the most abusive of children because children are the most vulnerable. They're the most abusive of women, or more abusive of women than they are of men, because women are more vulnerable, right? And they're the least abusive of men comparatively, because men are less vulnerable to physical attacks from them. But in all instances, right, they're the biggest abusers.
Okay, Kim, we are told here, women are biggest abusers of children.
Which
is going to prove that. We're going to ask him to prove that. I just want this time. I want to give you this time. But I want to read this now. Around the stats now, last quarter 2024, you will have about meta rate or meta that was recorded. It was 6,953. Females account for 961. Children account for 273. Men account for 5,719. You want to say something? We'll get back. We'll dissect.
Females are perpetrators, but it's a minority. Majority, it's men. Men sexually abuse children. You can check out the stats.
And majority of the sexual abuses of children are done by women.
Okay.
But we're talking about the stats and the majority.
Yes, the majority of sexual abuses against children are done by women.
Gender-based violence.
Violence
against the table. Violence against the table. Continue.
Women abuse children physically. 100% correct. Women neglect their children, 100% correct. But men sexually abuse their children. There's fathers who are 65 years old and they sleep with a young girl who's 3 months.
There's a mother who's trending for sleeping with a son that she gave up for adoption.
They sleep with a daughter who's 10 years old. There's stories of men who are sexually abusing their daughters, the whole family. The man is sleeping with the mother, he's sleeping with the child, he's sleeping with the stepchild. So you understand that there's the amount of horrible men that exist in this country make it very impossible for us to sit here and argue that there's female perpetrators. Yes, they exist, but men are worse.
No,
yes.
No.
You understand how many stories have you heard that a woman is raping the son and the cousin?
There's many more.
They do exist, but it's a minority.
No, it's not. It's a
My
majority.
point is men abuse even children more.
Have you,
so how he doesn't want me to talk. When he talks, I keep quiet.
Have you ever been abused
You
by
were quiet. Nota doesn't want to give me an opportunity to talk. I was quiet. I was quiet when you were talking. So please give me an opportunity to talk.
I'm helping you here.
How many stories, even in your hood, when you grew up?
No, I've been a victim of violence.
And I'm so sorry about that, but let me finish talking. Even in Soweto, let's talk about the people in Soweto. How many kids? How many abomalume abayingaki? Wait, abomalume abayingaki? Abanikeza abantwana amasweet and then assault those kids.
Let's allow her to speak.
Yes. We've had, even in your own hood, kunabomalume, certain malumes that like call kids, come get sweets from my house, come get anything. They are assaulting. Let me finish talking. You understand what I'm trying to say? Let's get into the kids that are getting kidnapped, that are being used as sex slaves. Who does that? What's the majority? More males do that because males don't care.
With women,
I'm trying to finish my point. Women are very emotional. I once asked Nota, why can't we have a female president? He said women are emotional. So let's take women's emotions. A woman cannot give birth to a child. We're talking about good women,
emotions
not cycles.
Not morals.
We're talking about good women. A majority of women have care.
They
you
have
understand
no
what I'm
morals.
trying to say? That's why a lot of kids, that's why society expects a mother to be the one that takes care of a child. You understand what I'm trying to say?
That's wrong, because women have no morals.
Women have no morals, but they have love. And my point is, children are getting abused by men more. We have so many stories. Even
and when men abuse women, they also love them.
Excuse me?
Exactly.
Men
that.
abuse women because they love them. That's so crazy.
Women have no morals, but they have love, right? And many men who abuse women
that
say
is
that
so
they love
crazy.
them afterwards.
Okay.
No,
that's
they
what
are
say.
manipulators.
All right.
They are
All right.
manipulators.
All right.
They are
Can I-
monsters. Monsters.
okay.
Monsters manipulate their victims. That's why their victims
And
can't
women
leave.
manipulate stats.
They manipulate stats. Hi, ama stats kanti abhalwa abafazi.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No, who are the
Mana.
people in high positions? Men,
Statisticians are mostly women.
and they don't even put out
Google
the
it.
number of
Google
facts.
it.
They don't put
Google
in
it.
the one, because
Okay.
they know if they put in the one, they like people would
But
actually
you-
realize
okay,
that hey,
but
women
you-
and
Kim,
children in this
Kim,
country are actually in
Kim,
danger.
who does
It's not
more
safe.
clerical work?
And the women are abused by people they love,
are
and
the-
children
who
are
are
abused
the
by
best
people they
graduates
love.
in
They
accounting
trust.
Very much. Thank you very much. Guys,
In South Africa.
Here's a problem.
Even globally, we're talking about globally, a global thing. We can check the stats globally.
Check them.
Women and children are more affected.
Check them.
Kim, I want to ask you this question. Based on the stats I read, I said 6,000 something murders.
They were murdered because men are out here doing robberies.
In which year was this?
Why are they? Why
2024.
men put themselves in position to be killed? Women don't.
Okay.
If you're
But in
going to
which
rob a
quarter?
bank, why are you
the
going
last
to rob
quarter.
a bank?
Man,
Why are, men are getting
look
killed in
after a woman.
prison? Men are getting
Wait,
killed in prison.
look after
Why are
women.
you in prison in the
To look
first
after their
place?
mothers.
Why are you in
To
prison?
look after their
Kim.
wives.
Kim, you see, yabona into eyenza ukuthi ngikubuza umbuzo, it is because of what you said. Ne? I was going to ask you, when you say that stats reflect that, you have not provided stats that reflect what you are suggesting, and that's the problem. Now it's going to be like I'm against you always.
Okay.
Whereas he has provided his own facts, and I have read facts here. I said, last quarter of 2024 going into 2025, right? We had a recorded murder rate of it's about 6,953. Now listen to the stats. Now it says women account for 961, children 273. You know what's that? 1,234 out of 6,953. So the rest, 82% of men experience murder, more than women. And I said, so for us, or for me at least, to listen to you, I need to get a counter facts. Counter that with facts.
Yes.
Then it makes sense. Then I can take it.
You can check it. You talking about men being murdered. I don't think that's what men get murdered because they put themselves in position to be murdered.
Why? Because
He's saying to provide for women. So
no,
my
to
point.
Protect, not just to provide, because they're in positions of protection. They're the first.
Why
line of
are you
defense.
going to rob a bank?
No,
Don't you
it's
think
not
you're
about
going to
robbing a
get
bank.
killed?
When your house
Why
is-
are you
okay,
going to
when
prison?
your house gets
You can
robbed-
search it.
When your house gets robbed,
You wanna
as a woman,
fact check my
as a
points,
woman,
right? Search it.
No, it's fine.
Who
No,
are the
what
listen
purpose?
to me.
what-
Listen
what
to
I'm-
me. Listen
You
to
can
me.
grab
Hold
the
on.
stats for me because I don't have connection.
You don't have connections. I'll give you my phone.
Yes, thank you.
No, what I'm saying is, when you make a point, at least support it with something.
Yeah.
Because then we're going to argue.
The stats say that though. The
don't say
stats
that.
do say
They say the
that
opposite of
women.
what you're saying.
Phela
Let me
ngizama-
tell you what the stats are saying. The stats are
Can
saying
you check that
hold
out,
on.
please?
The stats are saying that men are so dangerous. Then, when confronted,
At least you
with a
know that men
hold
are
on,
dangerous.
When confronted with a man, they're more likely to get killed because they represent a threat, whereas women are less likely to get killed. So, if a man breaks
Because
into a
they are
house, can you listen
weaker.
to what I'm saying?
Women are
So if
weaker.
a man breaks into a house and finds a man there, that man is more likely to become killed or murdered than if a woman is found there. The woman is more likely to be raped or assaulted in other ways, but she's less likely to be murdered. So when those stats are reflected in the lower murder rate of women, it makes perfect sense. Now, let's look at certain things like property ownership, right?
You see, men.
No,
are
I'll
more
give it a
sit-
chance. I'll give it a
okay.
chance. Let him finish this point. I'll give it a chance.
Let's
Okay.
look at certain things of property ownership, right? Now, property ownership stats, right, show that the biggest or newest property owners in the country, right, are women. Now, what women have always complained about is the fact that they weren't given the right to own property in the past. They weren't given the right to have credit cards, etc., etc. Now they're the biggest property owners, which means they're the most likely to have to kick someone out in cases of intimate partner violence or whatever the case may be. They're no longer in the position where they're now trapped with an abuser because they live with an abuser, because now they're the property owners. Why are we not modifying our laws to also recognize the equal victimhood of men? Because they can also now find themselves trapped in relationships where they're only staying because they are being housed in those relationships, and they cannot leave the violence in those relationships, and they feel entrapped.
I wanna give you a chance, guys. I gave Kim my phone so she can research.
No, I already did the research. The things I'm saying are already facts, and
no.
I'm
saying, please hear me out.
Uh-huh.
You did not provide one, so I'm trying to show them that I'm fair to you. I gave you my phone so you can verify your facts. So you'll read.
They
your
are
facts.
Verified already, so I already know.
It's not verified if you didn't read it to the audience. It's hearsay if it is in court. It's fact if you read it for them. But what I'm trying to say, I want you to answer what he just said. Why are women not protesting to say, listen, we want equality. So since we want equality, if it is wrong for us to be abused by men financially, emotionally, physically, psychologically, sexually, when we now have the power, the same favors now must be given to men to say we don't want to abuse men, because when we look at the organizations that are out there, it's about we want freedom, we want equality. So why, when you then when you get there, you don't want to say, listen, we're equal now.
We've
in
achieved
a sense,
our goal.
Yeah.
The power imbalance is no longer
then
there.
Please make things equal. Why don't we hear women pushing for that as well?
Women have to push for themselves. Men already have opportunity. I feel like, men already have opportunity. Women always have to prove themselves twice as much in anything. In this conversation that we're having right now, I'm providing facts that I don't need to check. But because I'm a female, it's a Kim, let's research your facts. Example, real life example, even in the workplace. No, let me finish talking. Even in the workplace, a woman can have the same position as a man. She can be a CEO, a director, or anything. But it will always be like, no, let's run it through Mr. Baloyi, for example. Why? Because women are inferior. And if women are inferior, why do men find the need to abuse them? Because if you're already superior, why aren't you abusing another man? And the stats do prove that women...
they do abuse more men than they do women.
Then it should stay like that. It should stay a man-to-man abuse. That's fine.
Let's go to your stats for the first time.
Okay, yes. Men are significantly more likely to commit child sexual abuse. Women are often identified as perpetrators of neglect. I already said all of these things. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Continue the
stats.
It's your platform. It's your chance.
Studies show that 90% of sexual abuse is committed by men or a male.
Mm-hmm.
Male perpetrators often...
Sexual abuse, sexual abuse.
Yes.
Sexual or child sexual abuse?
Child sexual abuse.
Okay. Where is this?
This is Google.
No, in which country?
This is South Africa. And even globally. We can even search it globally.
Okay.
You know what I'm trying to say? Male perpetrators often target both girls and boys. Mm-hmm. Imagine. So men even abuse other boys. The men that talk so much about, you're even abusing other men. How many young boys always say I was abused by a man?
Young boys are victims, but continue.
It's not a joke. I'm just trying to show you how horrible men are. They even abuse their own kind.
It's not a joke, but you're smiling.
Like you're not even abusing the next woman. Like you're abusing another male. So you understand how sick men are super sick. Okay, studies show male perpetrators of sexual abuse are more likely to be strangers or acquaintances compared to female perpetrators who are more often caregivers.
Imagine.
Can I finish talking?
No.
Just hold on.
Wait, we give women the right to be the caregivers of the children. She already expressed that, right? They're the nurturers, right? They're the emotional ones. They're the ones that are supposed to care. But when it comes to abuse in a position of power, right?
So, Budbongani, that just proves all of the stats. Stats prove everything I was saying.
No, the
just
stats
to get
prove
that
what
out.
I was saying. All right. Hold on. The stats prove what I was saying. When women are caregivers of children, they're most likely to abuse them.
But
right?
more men sexually abuse women.
Yet more women are chosen to be babysitters than men.
Because I'd rather have my child getting beaten up than having my child being sexually assaulted.
Who teaches that it's women?
Is women.
And guess what?
They beat children up and they do not take care of children, which is wrong.
Yes.
But the stats prove that sexual assault against kids is done by males more.
Okay, so you're only looking at sexual assault. You
So
never even looked at infanticide.
We checked out neglect and we checked out...
Infanticide, where the
Guys,
killing of children.
But more men kill children.
Are you willing to bet on that?
Let's Google
Hollywood, Betway, one bet.
All right. Now, because my free aid la, guys, I want to ask you: are women and women, men and women,
Polymarket.
are men and women equal?
No.
Because
they're not
this
equal.
point being argued here.
They're not equal.
Women are vulnerable and whatnot.
Women
so
are
that's why I
inferior.
asked the question:
How?
are men and women equal?
In every way ever. Strength, society-wise, everything.
Men and women can never be equal.
They can never be equal. That's what we fight for. We fight for equality, but we'll never get it. It's there on paper.
So why are you
No.
fighting for something that
He doesn't even want
I
me
don't
to
think
finish
you're
talking.
answering my question.
You said are men and women equal, and I said no, they're not.
Listen. I'm not asking for what women are looking for. I'm just saying, assume.
They are not equal.
No. Assume everything is fine.
Women
assume
are very
everything
advantaged.
is fine. Assume there's no gender-based violence. Assume everything is operational. Nje kahle kamnandi. Where everything is fine. Are men and women equal?
No.
Look, in nature.
No. They're
Men
not.
are at big
Okay.
huge disadvantage.
Okay, man. Men are not equal. Disadvantage by nature. Now I'll start by you. Why are you saying men and women are not equal?
Because women are weaker. They are considered not to be in a position of men. They're not put in position of power. We're saying besides GBV and everything, women are not put in position of power because they're not trusted.
Why?
Because society feels like, no, this is a man's job.
Why?
Because that's just how men
Because
are.
those
Kim,
jobs have got
please,
vulnerabilities, right?
okay.
And then women are vulnerable, right?
Yes.
So in positions of power, why would you put your most vulnerable person there?
So you agree that women are weaker and they're inferior.
I'm not saying that women are weaker or inferior.
So why
What I'm
can't
saying is
women
that
be
men
put
are
in a position of power?
disadvantaged.
Okay.
Because
I wanted to
they're
hear
in a
your point,
position
Nota.
of being protected.
Okay, you know,
Okay,
I asked you this question off
Yes.
screen. Why can't we have a female president? Now
No,
I'm asking you on screen. Why can't we in South Africa? What's the reason?
Okay, manin. You were saying.
Oh, you can't answer
okay,
that.
man. You were saying.
I don't think women have morals. That's what.
Okay, you were
Men
saying.
don't have morals. Also, we have.
But we create the
We
laws.
have our
We
president
uphold the
selling
laws.
our country.
We uphold the borders. We enact the laws that arrest the men that abuse women. We protect women and girls. Like all of these things, right, are happening with men having the advantage, right? With men ruling the world. All of these progressive things that you're seeing happening. Whether you might say that,
But
it's women that
they're
hold
doing
on,
a bad job because we have a
it's
lot
fine,
of
it's fine,
victims.
but there's progress that's being made, which means that when women protest, men hear them. And men do something about it. When men protest, women completely ignore it.
When have men protested against sexual abuse and?
We protest all the time. Just like you said, Mohale was protesting, right?
But you didn't even hear him out.
We did hear him out.
You didn't.
I called it out.
You called it out.
I
What
called it
happened to
out.
Well, in
Somizi?
that case,
Was
wait,
Somizi
hold on.
cancelled?
Let me give you
What
an
happened to the
example.
perpetrator?
Let me give you an
What
example.
happened to the
Manin,
perpetrator?
Wait. I wanna.
Did anyone march and say, let's cancel Somizi?
Whoa.
Let's cancel Somizi. Who did that? No one did that.
Man. When Mohale came out, I know it as a matter of fact. Somizi was on Idols as well as Metro FM. He was suspended, but on both Idols as well as Metro FM. Is that not being cancelled?
No,
Or
Ladies
cancelled
Ama's
means-
career ended when she made false allegations allegedly to Ustjava.
Why are you saying it ended? Because she's still singing. She released an
No,
album
it's not
long
the
ago.
same. Even he agrees with that. It's not the same. It doesn't. She's not the same. Let's not even
but then
fight
you,
it.
but
So with
then you can't say
Somizi,
it's ended because yes, once you say it's not the same, you are saying it's there.
It ended. Her career ended.
Ngiyala nale. Because once you say
but I'm supposed to be debating with Nota
no,
and you
but
are
I
a
need
moderator.
clarity because you cannot just. Mina ending alanai uti. It's not the same. At the same
It
time,
ended.
ending yala uti. It's not the same. At the same time, it ended. The moment you give me, it's not the same. You are saying it's there. If behamba ngo-100, say hamba ngo-50, but it's there. Yabo, yabo, but mouth it's ended. You mean check the next lapan. You understand what I'm saying? So the two, I'm struggling to reconcile those two facts to go to Uti. It ended at the same time, which it's not the same.
And by the way, Somizi was put back to his platforms, and I'd really highly appreciate it if I only go against one person. Because now if I have you also...
But I need clarity, clarifying questions, because my audience will want to know.
Can I ask you a question?
You can't say the two things.
Didn't Lady Zama's career end due to the false allegations allegedly she made on Strava? Yes or no?
I think that her career is still active. I think that she just released music not too long ago. She released an album not too long ago. She didn't lose any endorsement deals.
She was cancelled.
She didn't lose any... No. She wasn't cancelled.
Even she spoke about it on her platforms, that ever since she did that, her career has never been the same.
Just because she lost popularity doesn't mean that she was cancelled.
But that's that is her career.
No,
she's a celebrity.
It's not. The person who was cancelled, the person who lost opportunities, who lost income and everything else is Java. He's the person who actually
the country actually supported him a lot.
Whether the country supported him or not, no institutions did.
Okay, guys.
And you were asking about Somizi.
No. The reason I struggle with your point is because I know for a fact, because I saw this thing, Lady Zama release music, ngapa utikeri, it's ended, ngapa Lady Zama release music. So at least if you were arguing good, it's not the same, then it's fine. But to say it's look, the career ended, but at the same time, Muti, it's not the same. That's the only thing I understand the statements are. So what are you arguing? Are you saying, yes, it's there, Bongan, but it's not the same?
Okay, Kim feels like Lady Zama's career ended.
Okay. Now
that's the thing, is that we're arguing feelings, not facts.
But her career did end, and the people are gonna support
That's how you
me.
Feel.
The people are gonna support. We saw it happen. We saw how many times the Lady Zama used to get bookings galore because she has a beautiful voice.
But you know what, ne? When you talk about these topics, the difficulty is that you have, once you bring in Somizi, you bring in Lady Zama, then you can't help but then having to bring in Kelly Khumalo and say Kelly Khumalo has been booked by Fetu. And you're like, if the accusations were labeled against Senzo Meyiwa, I wonder if things were the same, Jay, or he would have been fired from Orlando Pirates. You know what I'm saying? His football career would have ended. But we saw Kelly Khumalo being booked. In fact, the protest around Kelly Khumalo's booking...
We can compare it, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say, for
she
instance...
still hasn't proven... She hasn't been proven guilty in court.
What I'm trying to say is that we can compare the instance, right? In this instance, let's just say that her and Senzo were the only people inside that house, right? Either way, her and Senzo and their friends were the only people that have been proven to have been inside that house so far. Nobody else has been proven beyond reasonable doubt to have been inside that house at that same time. Oscar Pistorius and Riva were the only two people who were proven to be in that house in that same time. What happened to Oscar Pistorius because he was the male? Not only was he convicted of culpable homicide, he also lost on appeal, right? And then was eventually convicted of murder. You understand
for how
what
many
saying?
years? You know,
whatever his sentence is, there's a conviction that came out of that.
Is Oscar Pistorius still in prison?
He's out on parole, so you can say that he is under correctional supervision, which is a kind of a prison. But
because he was proven guilty, Kelly Khumalo hasn't been proven guilty.
I'm not saying that Kelly Khumalo has been proven guilty. What I'm saying is that the instance of his cancellation began immediately as soon as the story broke. And what I'm trying to say to you is that it's now almost 10 years since the Kelly Khumalo and Senzo Meyiwa story broke, right? And from the instant that he died, already she was being seen as a victim in the media. She was a victim of a house robbery where her boyfriend and the father of her child was shot and killed, right? She was the victim of accusations that she might have set him up. She even released a song to that effect. You know, she's always been a perpetual victim of the media, of the public's ire, but brands have not disassociated themselves from her. Record labels are still working with her, giving her money to shoot music videos, to release albums, to drop music. She's had 2 separate seasons of reality shows of her own that have been shown on Showmax. Even now, she's still part of productions. She walks around, carefree. No one has ever attacked her, even though she's sometimes seen with bodyguards, but she has never been attacked or reported that someone has attacked her. Physically or confronted her, and she travels to the airport, she travels around, she goes to the shops. She's living her life carefree, right?
Can I respond to that?
No. I'm just saying, in an instance where a man...
She did receive a whole lot of backlash from people. She wasn't even allowed to go to his funeral. And imagine if she actually gets proven innocent, then this woman wasn't able to go to the father of her child's funeral just because people thought she was...
Don't continue. I want to answer her. I've got an answer for her. Today's the 10th of February.
It's the 10th of February.
Yeah, continue.
So she did receive a whole lot of backlash from people.
Okay.
And she hasn't been proven guilty. I think the moment she's proven guilty, a lot of things will change and she'll probably get cancelled.
Okay.
But she hasn't been proven guilty.
Let me put you in another instance, right? Because I used the Oscar Pistorius case as bait. You understand? Because I knew that one is very easy to go to. Let's go to AKA. He was killed on the 10th of February. Now the accusation...
By a man.
By men, yes.
Yes.
By the accusation...
Even DJ Somebody was killed by men.
Now let's say the accusation is that he was killed because of... the suspicion that he might have been involved in his fiance's death. Right? That is the accusation. Now, look at what happened to AKA after his fiance's death. Immediately, he was seen as a suspect or a possible suspect, right? It was practically 50-50, with people wondering, did he murder her or did she commit suicide? He claimed that she committed suicide. He's denied any involvement in her death, right? And the prosecutors, as well as the police investigators at the Western Cape Homicide Department, ruled out foul play in her death. Yet, we are mourning him today for the 3rd year, right? It's been 3 years since he's been dead, because it is said that he was killed because he was involved in the death of his wife or fiancé, however you want to put it. He lobolat. So I guess by the law, Constitutional Court, yes, it is actually his wife.
Yes.
It's actually in community of property, yes, his wife. And therefore, before he died, he inherited half her assets. No one ever talks about that because, he's dead now. His daughter is supposed to inherit half of those assets that he inherited when his wife died. No one talks about his victimhood. No one spoke about his victimhood even when he was alive. And now that he's dead, people dismiss his death as, an incident that occurred because someone who was female died. But people also forget that in the incident where he was killed, his longtime friend and former manager was also killed, and no one thinks about his victimhood, and he wasn't there in that hotel room on the 10th of April.
Okay. Kim, when you say things, the thing is, sometimes you trigger questions. When you speak about cancellation, I don't even want to take the route mina yabo AKA. I will bring
even
in
his vodka deal was cancelled.
No, I wouldn't bring that one. Look at this, Java is accused of airing uloko.
Ladies, SABC One TV show was cancelled.
Look, on SABC One, look, was supposed to appear Guzalo. The Uzalo was willing to shoot Nonos Java. SABC says nope. And then it was on Supersport, what, or DSTV Royalty, what, awards. So, he was cancelled. He was removed just because of the allegations. And then you're looking at instances such as the ones of Kelly Kumalo.
DSTV Viewer's Choice.
Yes, he was in that category. He was removed just because of the suspicions, which were later proven not true. Then you've got Kelly Kumalo on the other hand, who is accused. It's still not yet proven that she's accused, yet you don't see her losing anything. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's sexual offense versus murder or killing someone. For me, those two carries almost the same weight. So when you say then...
well, for the law, they also carry the same weight in terms of the schedule of the crime.
You see my dilemma, Uguti. Somehow it looks like, when you look at all these incidents, it looks like men suffer more just by an allegation. Whether those allegations
100%.
will be proven true or false later on, but men suffers the consequences.
100%. And the reason behind that is because people know that women are weaker. So that's why everybody always wants to protect women. That's why when a woman cries out, everybody hears a woman.
Who's that everybody? Is that men included, right?
Yes, it's men included. The same men that are the reason that the women are crying.
Okay, but they're the ones who are the protectors.
Okay,
Yes.
I want us to end this debate, but I want us to conclude it this way. There's this point that I wanted us to debate here. Before we leave, I want us to leave.
Why do you want us to leave? I'm having so much fun. I'm having so much fun.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know it's between 7 and 9?
Between 7 and 9.
Okay, it's fine.
Eight.
It's fine. These people are
Eight.
somewhere else.
You're
We are here.
Eight.
We are here. Guys.
You're getting 8 right
Guys,
now.
man.
You ate. You ate.
Man,
I cooked too.
I ate you up. That's why he always gotta back you up. He feeling bad for you. He's like, hey, yo, you know what?
Right
I
now.
need to support the man. Since I'm a man myself, I need to support Nota and back him up.
You're melting off the bone right
Kim is eating him up. So like, I can't let Nota take the out.
Have you ever had like...
you are a serpent, but it's fine. Listen, look, ne. You know, I'm struggling with the concept of men and women being equal. You know, I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I want you guys to answer me. So often women complain that they want to be equals to men, right? So they want equal things, equal this. So there are two sides of this thing, right? One is that there are women who are given money who, because of the equality thing, they will be given the opportunity to work just like men. But when a woman now occupies the space, the same woman will say, no, but I'm not going to pay myself. I'm not going to pay lobola for myself. You must do it. So you're like, but then how does this equality thing works? If when you are given the opportunity now to earn the same money that the man is earning, now you're supposed to lobola me, Pel. I'm your boyfriend. I'm not working. I'm not going to do that.
No, don't worry. We'll lobola you guys because men need to be saved. So we will be the women that lobola you guys and save you guys. It's fine.
No.
We have the strength to do it.
It's not happening.
Just put us on the title deed, that's all.
It's fine. Season Pegel Hashem, because we can see that the men, they're going through a lot.
So often women complained when it comes to that, they want men to be the one paying lobola. In fact, when a woman pays her own lobola,
women will eat her up.
I paid my own lobola. It becomes a big deal.
Because it is a big deal.
But we are equal. Why are we even talking about it? Because we are equal.
We're not equal yet.
On the other hand, you hear equal and then they are elevated to that position. And then some have taken this to this extent. I listened to Ingane Zoma on Ukhoze FM. They were asked about whether or not men and women are equal. And their answer was, we are equal in all aspects.
A woman said that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Who is that woman?
Ingane Zoma. Like the Maskandi group.
She needs to be investigated.
The female Maskandi group. Hey.
Hi, man.
There's a little girl, imagine.
Listen to this. They say,
Mangete doesn't even know that.
They say, they say, if a man can dig a grave, we can dig a grave. Whatever a man can do physically, we can do it.
Aye, that's them.
No,
that's the Mbogoto squad. me and my feminists, we're not part of the Mbogoto squad.
Get women pregnant.
Me, I'm not part of that squad.
I'm talking about this equality because there's a lot of confusion around this equality.
Yeah.
So then, around, I don't know which year, there was an incident where there was a quantum that was going around arring women.
Oh my word.
I remember that story. A week before, I listened 702. I forgot the presenter was a female. She was talking about how women are equal to men. There's no different strength. What? Ne? She was like, we are equal psychologically, emotionally, physically. Right. When that incident happened, She was like, no, we need men to protect us. I was like, whether in my life, I was never confused like that. I was like, I listened to the same radio station last week before this incident. You guys were equal to us in all aspects. A week later, an incident happened. Same woman was like, nope, we want men to protect us. We're under siege. We want men to protect us. So I posed this question. Based on this background, are men and women equal? Because maybe some of no tunes on pendula today. Are men and women equal?
They'll never be equal. Ever. Ever, ever.
Not?
Well, men and women are not the same.
Thank you.
They're interdependent. They're codependent. They are reciprocal. They are complementary. Those are the things. I don't think you can have equality. Two men are not equal. Two women are not equal. No individual is the same as another individual. Twins are not equal. And therefore, we can never...
Okay, but we're not talking about twins. We're talking about men and women.
But either way, what I'm trying to say is that there's a fallacy that there's equality in this world. There is no equality in this world. Equality is unnatural. And therefore, looking for equality is a futile exercise. We should not be striving to make men and women equal. I think that it is beneath women to aspire to be equal to men. I think that they've got a lot to contribute to society, and they're undoing a lot of their, I guess, natural abilities or natural advantages by trying to play in the terrain where men dominate instead of the terrain where they dominate.
Interesting. Kim, I'll give you fair time. You just said they are not equal, but we need you to explain it. Nota explained his side of the story. I need you to explain your side of the story. But please use the background that I gave you because it's something that is prevailing. There are very few feminists who will say what you are saying. Gutana, we're not equal. Very few.
We're not. Economic power, strength. I already said all these points out.
I want you to break it down.
Okay. When I say economic strength, I mean that women can never be put in position of power. I made an example when I said that in South Africa, we haven't had a female president, and he gave his options. Number two, strength-wise, as a female, I know that I cannot pick up bricks or do whatever myself, but women should be given that opportunity. They should be given that job, the opportunity to prove themselves.
Which kind of woman?
What do you mean?
The pretty ones, ne?
The pretty ones. Yeah, any type of woman. If a woman wants to pick up bricks.
Okay, continue. Women should be given that opportunity to pick up bricks. Continue. You're still explaining. Continue.
And the reason that society and the system protects women is because women are less than men. They're inferior.
Okay. I'll take it. I want to close. This is my closing remarks. Okay. Your last words, please. That's your camera. I don't want to make it longer because I have thousands of questions.
I came to eat.
Yeah, I just came here for the food. I just came here for the rider, man.
And Kim's looking like bread. So
Wow.
Don't be sour, though.
Oh, wow. My closing remarks are, I think that we should just have the system changing because the system doesn't protect women or men. He was crying saying if he gets art or if he gets any sort of abuse, if he goes to the police station, he's going to get laughed at. Same to women. When women go to a police station to report, they get questioned. So
it's not the same, but it's different.
Yeah, so that's your just, last words. Those are my last words. Do you want to share my last words with me?
Okay. There's one thing that I like about
only if
Kim.
We can equally share them.
Guys, there's one thing I like about Kim. Towards the end of her debates, always she mentions one thing. And that thing is, last time she said, black men and women, we need to work together. This time she's saying, there's a problem in our system. And I think that's key. There's a problem in our system, how the system is administering justice to us. The next debate, I want us to talk about the origin of feminism. A lot of people don't understand what is feminism. how it originated, what it stood for in the beginning, how people, it kept evolving. In the beginning, did you know that feminism in the beginning, it was about women who wanted to have boyfriends, who wanted to have husbands. And most of the men were in the Roman Catholic, and I forgot the name. So they were not allowed to have women. So women then stood up and said, no. We want
Church of England.
Yeah, something like that, yes.
It could only be because the movement came from suffragettes.
So feminism actually emanated there. It was never about to fight women. In fact, feminism, in the contrary, feminism was fighting to work together with men, wanting to be with men. But yes, they wanted to have this relationship.
And support
let's
each
get
other.
To that debate. Let's end this one because we'll see about that.
No, that's why I'm saying I'm giving you what we're going to be talking about on the next episode. So there's more to talk about when it comes to feminism. Because when you talk to this group of women, they say this. When you talk to the other group of women, they say that. And even people who support feminism. No.
Allegedly, a group of women.
I'm making an example. I'm making an example. So there's a lot of confusion around feminism and what it stands for. It is as if feminism was a movement that was created to fight against men. But in the beginning, feminism was never about that.
I think even now it's not about fighting men. It's about fighting the horrible men. So if you say fight men, now...
That's cool.
Now they're gonna eat you up now. So
that's cool.
Yeah, it's for like protecting ourselves from the wrong men.
Okay, Lungile. The next debate is about feminism. She's already fighting me. Don't fight me in the comment section below. Until we meet again, good people, please take care.
Like and